What? Wait, I don't think they're ready for this.
These moves looking real nice in the future. These moves looking real nice in the future. These moves looking real nice in the future. Pull up on them and it look nice, look nice.
These moves looking real nice in the future. These moves looking real nice in the future. These moves looking real nice in the future. Pull up on them and it look nice, look nice.
Yeah, we look nice, future looking nice, we don't need to tell them
Here
twice.
comes the future.
Yeah, we look nice, future looking real nice, we don't need to tell them twice.
Here comes the future.
It's a must-win game in the Liberty A-League as Canberra United, desperate for their first win of the season, welcome an Adelaide United team that is starting to generate a bit of buzz that this might finally be their year that they play in the top four and finals. It's a warm and sunny Viking Park, and the home fans in Canberra that have high expectations and have enjoyed such success over the years get used now to a team that isn't quite at the top of their game, maybe can be today the start of something. Let's take a look at how Canberra line up. A 0-0 draw with Perth midweek, and they have made one significant change with Emma Ilioski back into the team, and it means Hayley Taylor-Young goes to the bench. But Canberra will continue playing with a back three. It doesn't mean a change in formation. Interestingly, no starting spot for Ashley Sykes. She will be waiting in reserve to come on as a catalyst, much like the game midweek. Taking a look at Adelaide now, haven't played since the 4-2 win against Perth. They bring Emma Stanbury back into their starting midfield, and interestingly, it does mean that their Japanese attacking midfielder Nanako Sasaki drops to the sideline. It is surely an inevitability that we will see her come on as a sub at some point during the game. American Kayla Sharples today expected to move into the centre of defence. And as the teams make their way out onto the pitch, expect a warm ovation for this Canberra team. Michelle Heyman leading the home side out, and Emma Ilioski there, their one inclusion. The birthday girl as well, 19 today. Let's see if that results in an extra special performance. Adelaide United, they are wearing their light pink away kits. Going to be an unmissable colour contrast between the two teams today as a result. Former Matilda Grace Gill is alongside me for this one. And Grace, exciting game at Prospect.
Well, thanks, Teo. As always, it's a pleasure to be alongside you. And you mentioned it, but the result today for Canberra is essential. Adelaide have been in brilliant form coming off a solid win, and Canberra desperately need their first 3 points of the season.
So much at stake in this one, as it is always the case in a short season. There's Carly Rostbacken, selected in the extended Matilda squad that will go to the United Arab Emirates tomorrow. She'll be hoping to sign off with a good performance and press her case to make the final 23 after it gets reduced from 27 players. Rostbacken back in Australia this season after a stint in Norway, hoping to find her best football. And there's the Adelaide team. They're out on the pitch, having one more powwow themselves. And returning to the huddle is their captain, Isabel Hodgson. Emma Stanbury there as well, the one inclusion today. And Hodgson, who's been out with a hamstring injury for the last couple of games, she'll be a welcome return as well. Plenty of maturity in this Adelaide team. A lot of players in their mid to late 20s in the peak years of their career. That might be a little insight into why they have looked like such a composed team, even when things haven't always been going their way this campaign. That's the Canberra sideline. Vicky Linton, the coach, I had a quick word to her pre-game. She said she wants to see composure on the ball. Since switching to a back three and at times a back five when the wingers drop back, they have looked really shaky when pressed, Canberra. Adelaide will no doubt have that in mind today. And so we get ready to kick off here. Canberra had some late chances against Perth, but that first win still hard to come by. And it is their French import, Margot Rubin, who will get this one underway. Canberra attacking the left of your screens. And as we get this match started, Grace, who's going to win and why?
That is a fabulous question, Teo. Look, I think I've mentioned there, Adelaide are in brilliant form at the moment, and they've just come off a really solid win against Perth, whereas Canberra are struggling to find that end product.
An early turn from Alira Toby, and Canberra looking to go on the attack through the right side of the box. Chloe Middleton got there to hook a cross back. This could be the perfect start as it hits the crossbar not once but twice and ends up going out for a goal kick. No touch from the keeper on the way, and already a cause for alarm for Annalie Grove in the Adelaide goal.
Yeah, some questionable moments there for Annalie Grove and for Adelaide United, but a good early chance there for Canberra.
So rolled out to Matilda McNamara, playing it up to Chelsea Dorber, coming off a double in her last game.
get another look at this one here. It was just a lob in from Chloe Middleton that's just tipped the top of the crossbar there, but I think Adelaide Grove may have had that covered.
Condon in a wrestle against Washington. And late challenge from Stanbury. Kate Jakovich just blows for the foul, nothing more, but Emma Stanbury's not afraid of the rough stuff, and that can regularly boil over.
And this is something that Kate Jakovich handles really well, just having a stern word to Stanbury nice and early. It was just a late slide in there on Washington, bit of late body. You question whether or not that's a card, an early card to get the game under control, but Emma Stanbury probably pretty lucky to get away with that one.
Kev, ball bounced over her head. It's going to be through for Wirtz. She wants her right side Wirtz and then cuts back again, a little bit indecisive. Condon, the pressure's still on. Hayward, volley, goal! Adelaide strike first, and it's a super strike at that. And they take the lead in Canberra. Oh, wow, Grace Gill, not the start that Canberra wanted, but they have found the back of the net impressively there, Adelaide United, after cutting through the Canberra defence.
Well, it's just some unconvincing defending there from Canberra United, and unable to clear it from their defensive third. And we get another look at this one. Wirtz has been so dangerous to start with, and she's just sent Lauren Keir back and forth. And defensively, that Canberra unable to get that one out of that traffic. And it looks like Paige Hayward has been able to put that one away.
Dylan Holmes, the scorer, ghosting into the box. Holmes, just no one followed her, and a really good volley.
That's a great finish there from Dylan Holmes. It was a bit trafficky to see from where we are, Teo, and exactly who got on the end of that one. It was really quite congested there, but that's a quality strike and finish from Holmes.
And the whistle goes immediately from kickoff, so the home fans have been silenced here. Dylan Holmes scoring just her 4th A-League women's goal, and it's the first time she's found the back of the net since scoring against Wanderers back in February. Washington, Heyman turning, and now Margot Rabin. Good save. Grove comes up with the parry, and Rabin is denied her first goal in the A-League Women's.
Well, time stood still there for a moment, didn't it, Teo? It seemed as though Rabin just had all the time in the world to look up, see where Annalie Grove was in the goal. We might get another look at that shot, but you think that's got to be a sure thing for Canberra United there. Rabin just found herself in a good amount of space, and that shot is a pretty simple save for a goalkeeper at a really comfortable height.
Plays into the channel for Heyman, even with a deflection. Heyman, now Alira Toby making ground, spinning, and I don't think it was an intended pass for Grace Maher, but it nearly ended up at her feet.
Yeah, that's a better combination there from Canberra United. We find Carly Rossback and having a bit of joy up and down this flank, and Michelle Heyman getting the ball at her feet, and her and Alira Toby just connect really well, and they move beautifully off each other. And I think that one for Toby probably needed to be a shot, but she wasn't able to get her foot right around the ball there.
See from the flag, if anything, the wind is going across the ground. So as Lauren Keir swings this corner in with some real venom, it's blocked down and cleared away. Alira Toby, again, couldn't quite get it on the target. It was cleared off the post rather than off the line. Rost back in. Adelaide aren't pushing out and pushing up just yet because they've got to worry about this cross from Rabin. Washington slipped at the crucial moments. And now through the right, Heyman! Off the woodwork! It sits up, McNamara misses the clearance. They're not out of danger yet. It's hands on heads on the Canberra bench, and in the crowd, Michelle Heyman misses out, and now Adelaide can slingshot end to end. Dorber. She plays Wirtz. It's Wirtz bearing down on goal on the tight angle, and Richards makes a good save. End-to-end stuff.
Wow, well, that defensive effort there from Margot Rabin to track her player the whole way back, but we get another look at this opportunity for Canberra at the top there. It's just a crucial slip from Washington, and Michelle Heyman, she just can't buy a goal at the moment. That's so unfortunate for her that one's hit the woodwork.
Holmes. And the through ball is going to find Dorber, and the flag's going to stay down. It's Dorber one-on-one. It's Chelsea Dorber continuing her scoring hot streak. This is the form striker in A-League Women's at the moment. Chelsea Dorber scores again, and Adelaide lead 2-0.
Well, that's a really tidy finish by Chelsea Dorber. She had all the time in the world out on that right flank there, and the three at the back for Canberra United just finding themselves exposed a little bit again. And Chelsea Dorber, this ball across to her, she's just been able to run into space, look up, take a touch. Keely Richards has come out to try and make herself as big as possible, and she's gotten a hand to it, but it hasn't been enough. And that's as simple as anything for Dorber.
What about the pass from Wirtz? It made the Canberra defence disappear. All of a sudden, Ilioski, the worst birthday present of all time, is chasing Chelsea Dorber at a 5-metre disadvantage. They vanished into thin air on that one.
It was a beautiful pass through and a really effective one to just break through the lines of Canberra United, but it's sort of a question on that pass as well, sort of where's the Canberra United defence closing that down, and Dorber's got the simple job of running into space and doing what a striker does really, really well.
Up to 11 career goals, Chelsea Dorber, and has 2 in 6 against Canberra. So an opponent that she has found the back of the net against already once this season. Adelaide are starting to disappear out of sight. And 6 minutes of additional time is enough. A first half that belonged to Adelaide, but not without Canberra having their chances. There was a save, they hit the woodwork, and the Canberra bench actually go over to the fourth official and say, you've ripped us off a couple of minutes there, so that's at least a good sign that they want to find a way back into this game. Half-time at Viking Park, Canberra United 0, Adelaide United 2. Adelaide to take kick-off here at the start of the second half, and Emily Condon does so now. So, Grace, we've seen one sub each. Is it more of the same from Adelaide? Can you see Canberra swinging this game? It's going to have to be a pretty dramatic swing to get something today.
Well, I think at this point in the game, with 2 goals to chase for Canberra United, they're just going to have to throw everything at it. So we see Ash Sykes, she's come onto the field, and her experience and her goal-scoring ability, I dare say we'll see a Hayley Taylor-Young, someone with incredible speed. And for Vicky Linton's side, they just need to chase this game, and they need to get a result here today.
This is a great start. Ash Sykes has absolutely gone into the game like a rocket. How's the cutback? Heyman! Oh, and off the post. Sykes was offside. It wouldn't have counted. Sykes ran offside and definitely wasn't expecting the ball to come back to her. But if that's a sign of what's to come, maybe this game will swing the way Canberra needed to.
Well, we see immediately from kick-off there the intensity that Ash Sykes brings to this team, and she had a similar impact when she came on against Perth earlier in the week, but just the speed, and at 30 years old, she's still got it. She's just torn down that flank there and set up a really good chance for Canberra United, and a good cut back to Michelle Heyman, but Michelle's just overstepped that one, and Ash Sykes here, unfortunately for her, has just drifted offside on that opportunity.
At least on the scoreboard, maybe not in general play, because Canberra will probe forward again here. Rabin left it for Toby, clever, high ball, Sykes rises to the header! Oh, it's in! It's gone on the line, it's found the way in! And the catalyst, Ash Sykes, it's her first goal in A-League Women's since January 2018, and it is a cause for celebration.
Oh, well, that's an Ashley Sykes special. That is vintage Ash Sykes there to get on the end of that one. She's not the tallest player by any means out there on the pitch, but an early ball from Alira Topi here is just beautiful. She's found a nice combination there with Margot Rabin, but for Alira Topi to see Ash Sykes isolated against a defender back there, she's just managed to get her head on a really lobby ball there into the 6-yard box, but welcome back Ash Sykes.
And the home fans found their voice. And so Ashley Sykes, career goal number 42 in appearance number 117. And I was talking about Tara Andrews overtaking her on the all-time scorers list, Grace. No you don't. Ash Sykes has got plenty left in the tank.
Well, she's looked really industrious since she's come on this second half for Canberra United. She's just tearing up for pace down that flank, and just the impact we saw in the previous hit out against Perth, how immense she was, and she's no different this afternoon.
So they came back against Brisbane. They finished strong against Perth, and they will have the home fans now lifting them up in support here against Adelaide.
Well, you can certainly sense that shift in momentum which is going the way of Canberra United at the moment, and for Adelaide just that slight sense of urgency and panic coming into their game, a couple of wayward passes. So really it's up to the leaders on the field to settle it down, to connect, to close the spaces, and to put on some good defensive pressure for Canberra if Adelaide want to maintain their lead for the remainder of this game.
Look at Chelsea Washington, like a different player came out of the rooms at half-time. And Stanbury, this is where earlier in the game she's perhaps a little lucky she didn't get booked in the first half, because that is a cynical professional foul and rightly sanctioned with a card.
And Chelsea Washington there, she's been on the receiving end of some really physical challenges today. And that one, she's running on goal. It's fortunate for Stanbury that she's not the last defender. It is an extremely cynical foul. She knows exactly what she's doing. And that's a really unfortunate thing for Canberra United there, for Chelsea Washington to go down like that. But you don't like to see that kind of challenge at all.
She's hurt too. Grace Maher. Alira Toby. Toby, does she go herself here? Toby slipped at the key moment just as she went for the change of direction, and Sharples was able to tackle the ball away, but Canberra aren't done. And the drinks break hasn't seemed to break their momentum as Heyman misses. And that should have been 2-2. The all-time leading scorer in A-League Women's. 99 times out of 100, those hit the back of the net.
Well, this cross in from Kylie Rossbacken is just sublime. It's beautifully placed there, and it's lifted over the defensive line of McNamara, and Michelle Heyman has arrived perfectly on that. The only thing she's not executed is getting that one on target, and she'll be bitterly disappointed.
Free kick to be taken by Sharples. Drives it long and diagonal. What a pass. Chelsea Dorber. Canberra trying to scramble back in defence here. Murray, the youngster, Amelia Murray, blocked away. Well, she's got plenty in her locker, and it's a corner kick.
Well, that is just a beautiful ball there from Sharples. That's found Dorber in an immense amount of space, but again, that's taken out a number of defensive lines, and Emmett Lioski just can't make this up. Heron's overcommitted on that one, and she's just dived in at the wrong time there.
Washington finds Heyman. And then a slide challenge came in to stop her progress from Hodgson, but Sykes follows up, blocked straight off the boot. McNamara this time. Alira Toby out to Rossback, and they're lining up in the penalty area. Past Rabin, Heyman retrieves the ball, spinning on the left. Heyman lifts it over the bar.
And again, a better build-up from Canberra United. Kylie Rossbacken has found herself in a bit of space out on the right wing, and the first time hit was the right decision, not quite the trajectory that it needed to be. And this is not a dissimilar move we've seen from Michelle Heyman in the past. She's able to turn on a dime and finish really neatly there, but she hasn't got her head over the ball. And we see here Emma Stanbury just going down, whether it's for cramp or
gamesmanship. I hope it's gamesmanship. I hope she's not cramped. This would just be a really smart thing to do, break the momentum. So now we do see Riona Amir coming on. And it's going to be, well, it's not for Emma Stanbury, it's for Emily Condon. That is interesting. So Condon leaves the game, and Amir comes on, the 30-year-old who played for Chifure Elfin Saitama in Japan before coming to Australia, playing for the Bulleen Lions in South Melbourne. It's actually watching some of the goals that she scored for the Saitama team in preparation for this one. She knows how to get forward. Adelaide would love to score against the run, so maybe Riona Amir can be that player.
Well, she'll have a good 15 minutes or so to try and settle herself in and come in with fresh legs, and we see here already finding herself in good space between the lines.
It's a good pass too. Wirtz on the left. Wirtz! Adelaide get the goal against the run. Fiona Wirtz! It's 3-1. And the visitors, will that break Canberra's comeback? This is an Adelaide team with character and resilience that we've never seen in A-League Women's before. They have a 2-goal buffer once again.
Well, what an instant impact from the substitute there for Adelaide United, and again just finding herself in a lovely bit of space between the Canberra United lines, and Fiona Wirtz, before all her hard work today, putting that one away really neatly, a really tidy finish, and that's a well-deserved goal for Fiona Wirtz.
Just her 4th goal in A-League Women's, coming in appearance number 14. So that has silenced the crowd. It's taken the sting out of the game, but it's no less than she deserves. And we know what that left foot can do. It was a well-placed finish.
It was a really neat finish, a really technical finish. She didn't need to do anything special with that one, just pick her spot, and she did that so well. But it was really, you would say, against the run of play after Canberra United have just had all the momentum in this half, and it was well taken by Adelaide United.
Toby, can Canberra peg one of these goals back straight away? Errant touch from McNamara, cleared by Grove. Well, Adrian Stenter, super coach. Riona Amir comes on, gets the assist straight away. We're going to see Canberra subs now. Margot Rabin is coming off. So she had a great chance in the first half, the shot over in the second, and she's replaced by Laura Hughes. And Alira Toby comes off to be replaced by Hayley Taylor-Young. So Hughes into the midfield, Taylor-Young out onto the wing. I suspect that means that Heyman will play as the lone striker as part of this 4-3-3. Lauren Keir getting forward. Can she put it on a teammate's head? Heyman is there, and so is Washington, and one of them committed the foul. I think it was Washington who got the touch, but Sharples was fouled.
Well, just a bundle of bodies there that's collided in that ball over the top, which is a nice ball in from Lauren Keir. And some fresh legs you mentioned there, and Taylor and Laura Hughes and Hayley Taylor-Young coming on, and a couple of good shifts as well in the likes of Margot Rabin and Alira Toby. Both worked really hard, and we get another look at this nice lofty ball in from Lauren Keir, and maybe just a little push in the back there from Michelle Heyman.
She's now going to come on for Dylan Holmes right here. Holmes, who scored the first goal of the game. Word of encouragement for Sasaki as she comes on.
Well, it's a good shift by Dylan Holmes, and I'm sure she'll be feeling a little sore on that one she took on the nose earlier in the match. But Sasaki, yeah, unlucky not to get a start today. She's been quality for Adelaide United, and I'm sure in the final minutes of this match she'll bring that similar level.
22-year-old midfielder who's played for 4 years now in Adelaide after moving to Australia for study. And don't be fooled, Grace Maher was running to the bench to get an instruction. She wasn't the one coming off, it's Carly Ross back in, and the crowd gives her a warm ovation as she leaves, and she applauds them back because she's off to Matilda's duty now. And Holly Caspers, who was the Christmas miracle last time the home fans saw Canberra. She scored the equaliser for 3-3, but they've got to score a second before they start dreaming about scoring a third. And I tell you what, Grace, when the score was 2-1, if you'd asked me who I thought was going to win, I would have said Canberra. It's a credit to Adelaide that they picked and took their moment against the run of play. It's going to be Sykes. Hughes. Clever. Hughes loses the attention of one defender, not Sharples. And Sharples is going to get booked. I tell you what, though, the American Kayla Sharples has been excellent today for Adelaide's cause. That yellow card is in no way a mark against her performance.
No, she has been really solid for Adelaide United this afternoon, and there's a question on whether that first little cheeky shirt pull could have been a free kick, but it was that second challenge that has met Laura Hughes a little bit late, and we've seen Grace Maher take free kicks from this area of the field, and we know how they can finish up.
Lots of anticipation of this free kick. Grace Maher. It's just over, and it fooled enough of the crowd to get a roar out of them, but it is not a goal.
I think that might have fooled us for a moment there as well, Terry. That certainly looked like it had the drop underneath the crossbar there, but that one's just inched its way over the top of the crossbar. Grace Maher will be disappointed. It's not a bad strike by any means, but it's just shaded over the top of the crossbar.
Adelaide, the real deal. Is this finally the team that is going to take them to the promised land of the Liberty A-League finals? Going to play a little bit beyond the additional 5 here. Heyman. It might be elementary if Canberra score here. Sasaki. There it is! The home fans may fall quiet, but this is a statement of intent from Adelaide. Take them seriously. Start talking about them as a top 4 prospect. Maybe, at long last, this is the Adelaide United team that will play finals. They win 3-1, and what a performance. All over at Viking Park. Canberra United 1, Adelaide United 3.